Hi, welcome to Climbing Daily. Today we're talking about the issue of trust in climbing. In our sport we have a policy where if you claim success you're basically believed. In science or other fields you have to produce evidence for anything you say, but in climbing the burden of proof is with the doubters. Despite this system there have been several ascents claimed down the years which have raised some eyebrows. There's a few places I'm tempted to start with this. We could talk about Walter Bonatti and the Italians on K2, we could talk about Maestri on Serra Torre, but instead I want to discuss Tomo, a Slovenian mountaineer who made some amazing claims in his career. One of his biggest assertions was to have soloed a new route on the enormous South Face of Lhotse in 46 hours. After the initial hysteria around the route, doubts began to emerge when photos came out of Tomo arriving back into base camp looking bright and refreshed. He looked so good he could probably go for another attempt. There was also further doubt cast when he produced a photograph supposedly proving that he'd done the route, and it turned out that it belonged to someone else. More contemporary is the case of Rich Simpson. He was a really strong, really talented British climber who in 2005 claimed he'd made an ascent of Action Directe, the world's first 9A in the Frankenjura of Germany. Given how strong he was at the time, no one really had any questions over it, but his claims just got bigger and bigger, and gradually doubts were raised over some of his achievements. In the years after this ascent, Rich claimed to have to his credit the first ascent of Amuerte, a 9A in Sierra, Spain, a 4-minute mile run, some very fast solos in the Dolomites, incredible times on the north face of the Alps, and a boxing career which had seen him undefeated in 12 bouts. At this stage there weren't really any suspicions around him, people just wanted to know who belayed him on his sport climbs, which major north faces he'd done, and where and when he'd run these incredible times. After numerous requests, Rich politely refused to provide any further information and decided to terminate his contract with his sponsors. It's worth noting that I have absolutely no evidence that either of these guys is lying, but their claims are far-fetched, particularly in the case of Rich Simpson. If he did what he says he did, he is without a doubt the best all-round athlete on the face of the earth. Overall, this is a really sad case. I'm a huge fan of the trust system in climbing. It's what makes our sport unique, and I would love to believe these two, but they just make it a bit too difficult. One thing's for sure, once you start doing a bit of research on these cases on the internet, it's pretty obvious that everyone has an opinion. So tell us what you think. Do you believe Tomo and Rich? You can get in touch via Facebook and Twitter. That's it for today. See you tomorrow for more Climbing Daily. Really fast time. Normally on a route like this, teams will either block lead, which is where you might lead 5 or 6 pitches in one go, or they'll swing lead.